everyone, it's Jess, and we are here to finally talk about The Amazing Race, episodes 5 and 6. Did a great delay happening here on my end. My bad. But we're here. We're finally going to talk about it, and I got some feelings. Some very emotional episodes for me. But we will get into it. What legs they had in Croatia. Ooh, I am knocking stuff over. My pen is stuck. I'm trying to get my pen out here. Sorry. Okay. Our Croatia legs. What a time in Croatia. Well, okay. So, episode 5. Getting to Croatia with our teams. Lot happened this episode. So, we are leaving Budapest. First flying leg of the season. I almost said episode. Of the season. Now, they're going to Dubrovnik, Croatia, aka King's Landing, if you've seen Game of Thrones. So, they have to fly there. This is the equalizer, in theory, because there's only one flight for them to get to Budapest, from Budapest to Dubrovnik for. So they are all on that flight, all 9 of them. And they're just like, which is kind of interesting to do this leg, the equalizer plane leg, after the leg with the fast pass. Because Tucker and Eric had quite the lead on all these people for nothing. They're just like, well, we're at the airport an hour and a half. We had an hour and a half lead and for nothing. Because we're all here. Okay. Interesting choice. I would have maybe not did the plane leg right after the fast pass one, but fast forward. I keep saying fast pass. It's fast forward. Oh my god. My bad. I always do that. I always say fast pass, and I'm like, no, that's not it. Nah. But they all get to Dubrovnik. They're flying out of the airport. Let me tell you, we're hauling ass to get to their cabs because they're like, we're all here. So we gotta hurry the fuck up. Now, their first route info, they already know what they need to get to. I'm probably, as always, can't say things. So if I mispronounce words, my bad. Blame the American school system. I don't know what to tell you. I went to like a D-League school. Shit, it sucked. So, my bad. The monument of Ivan Gundulic. To get their next clue, you know what I mean. Detour. Fisherman Hall or Skinner Wall. Actually, fuck the detour. One more thing I wanted to say before they get to the detour. Tucker and Eric. I don't know what luck they have that they get into the cab with a guy who has a map in the back. And they're like, can we keep this map? And the guy's like, oh yeah. Crazy. That's such a plus. Having that map, because, part of the whole thing of The Amazing Race is you have no idea where the fuck you're going half the time. You gotta ask people for directions, like, can I borrow your phone and write shit down? Or tell me where to go, and I'll write down a piece of paper, and we're gonna run it there. Map? You just gotta follow the street and be like, oh, it's over here. You don't need to stop to ask anybody. So that is a plus for them. Because typically, obviously, they're going to Monument. It's not like, oh, I need to get to the IKEA on 5th Street. How do I get... Like, no. They're going to things that are going to be on a map. So, plus for them. Now, like I said, detour. Fisherman Hall or Skinner Mall. Fisherman Hall, they gotta carry a big ass, like 40 pounds of net from one place to another. They gotta pick up a bucket of chum along the way. They gotta drag it like half a mile through the city, like far through the city. Or Skinner Mall, which is just skin and cut up to monkfish. One person, 1-on-1. I can't speak today. Like, one person on each team would have to skin one monkfish. They sound simple. When I first watched this, I'm like, oh yeah, just do this. Just cuts up some fish. I'm not running heavy ass shit around the city. I immediately was like, oh, maybe the other one's a lot easier. Or at least for the teams that pick it. Because Fisherman Hall, skid 'em all. Fisherman Hall, all of the 2 men teams take this. So Tucker and Eric, Jag and Jazz, Joseph and Adam. Everybody else does skid 'em all. Though at one point, Hannah and Simone do attempt to switch to Fisherman Hall, and they say fuck it. They're like, no, we're just gonna stay here and we're just gonna finish this because I can't. We're not switching. Yeah, Fisherman Hall definitely seemed easier. I was thinking, like, you have to carry a heavy asset. What if you get lost? What if it's too heavy to move? But seeing how complicated it was for these teams to try to get this, like, monkfish cut up, and, like, because that guy was being like, oh, too much, you cut too much off. Go get another one. And, like, they're just, like, cranking out monkfish. Just, like, another one. I'm like, oh, my God. Just fucking go get the fisherman's net. Especially because the place they're delivering the net to is where the monkfish place is. So they just watch the other 3 teams come drop their nets off and get the fuck out of there for the next stop. And they're like, oh, that's not great. That's not good. So, and yeah, it was I feel like they're very particular with the monkfish. Like if you cut off too much, the guy was like, no, go back. Try again. Take 2. And some people are, like, they can get it a little easier. Some people are struggling. Like, poor Simone. Oh, my God. She couldn't. She was struggling with that monkfish. Hannah was a little bit easier because, well, I think she was still in medical school at this time. She's kind of bodies in the cadaver lab. Like, she's like, yeah. Simone, not so easy. I feel like this was the task to do if you either cook a lot or, like, are a chef. Which is interesting. Tucker is a chef, I believe. He's a culinary scientist for, like, a company. So you would think he would have did that, but, they're like, athletic, we can do it. Men, no. We can do the physical task, we're men. Whatever. But yeah, some people definitely struggling. If you've never cut up a fish, maybe just carry the net. If you don't cook, just do the net, babes. Just do the net. But joke's on them, because some of them will have to do both. Because as you can see, U-turn. Next route info at the Booza Bar is a U-turn. Not just any U-turn, a double U-turn. 2 U-turns. Now this gave me high. I was like, oh, great. I feel like that clip of Sari where she's like, from Big Brother, where she's like, great, and just slams the door. It's the cabinet door. Like, great, awesome. Because Tucker and Eric get there first. They don't U-turn anybody, which I get. Because, like, they're in the front. They were like, we're in the front. We don't have to, piss anybody off. And they're like, they weren't really thinking about it. They do say, like, after, like, not on the show, but, like, on, like, type BCC and stuff. They're like, maybe we should have U-turned Jag and Jazz. I'm like, you think? Huh. Because that's what I would have did. If I was them, I'm U-turning Jag and Jazz. Because they're on my ass 24/7. I'm like, turn them around. They're your biggest competition. I know a lot of people say, like, if you're in the front, you don't really need to do the double U-turn. Or do a U-turn in general. Because, like, the whole point of it is try to get people out. So it's better for the people in the back. Then you can U-turn people who are below you. Who could get you out, like, past you. Send them back. Give you more time to get ahead of them. But if you have people who are, like, up your ass in the front, just turn them around. Like, especially because you know each other. This is not like you're racing against strangers, typically. You all know each other. You know what people are good. You know who's good at things. They should know Jag and Jazz. I would have U-turned them in a heartbeat if I had a chance to. I'm not letting them get by this. No. Turn around. But they don't. So, who's on their tail? It's the Trainwreck Alliance. This alliance is killing me. Jag and Jazz, Joseph and Adam, Natalie and Stephanie all get there around the same time. I believe Natalie and Stephanie are a little bit ahead of them because they decide to pass on the U-turn. And of course, because there's still the 2 open slots because there was no U-turn from the first place, people. Jag and Jazz, Joseph and Adam fill those spots. Who's shocked? Jag and Jazz U-turn Izzy and Paige. And then Joseph and Adam U-turn Rubina and Christine. Now, This is interesting. This whole W turn shit. Oh, I was like watching this. I was so mad. I was like, "Don't you fucking dare you turn CMA!" I knew they were gonna. The second they had a chance, I was like, "They're gonna do it," and they did. I was like, "God damn it!" As a Pizzy stan, not happy. And I get they're thinking. They're like, "Oh, what if Izzy and Paige they would have U-turned us?" Would they? First of all, why would? Well, maybe they would have. Who knows? But I feel like if you're in the front, you're gonna turn somebody. You turn a team that you know is gonna like pass you. Like there's so many strong teams, and found this out through all the online talking. A lot of the teams had made an agreement prior, even knowing there's a U-turn coming up, that if given the chance to U-turn people, that they were going to U-turn the BB26 teams because there was so many of them. There's 4 teams from Big Brother 26 plus the winner. There's 2 other winners. There's so many winners. There's 3 winners currently in the game still. Yeah, there's 3 winners, 3 BB26 teams. So they're like, listen, we have to U-turn the BB26 people. But of course, why would Jack and Jazz follow what other people do? So they don't. They U-turn Izzy and Paige. The beef lives on. And Joseph and Adam U-turn Rubina and Christine. They feel really bad about it. Joseph and Adam said, like, Jack and Jazz kind of like convinced them. They're like, you gotta do it, da 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 da. And they're like, okay. I would have been like, no. Why? Why do I need to? But they do it. I don't know. I feel like there's people, because the whole point of U-turn is you want to get these people out. But clearly, as you can see, they failed. It didn't work. You set it back, but it didn't work. They're still there. And now, I mean, Rubina and Christine were more like confused. They're like, oh, what? Why us? Like, us? So that means you don't need to be worried about them. Like, come after you. Izzy and Paige, I will not have poked that bear because they already had beef, and Izzy was already at a 10. Izzy's at like a 55. Izzy is livid when they get there, and she sees her and Paige she's like, of course. What she say, like, Jazz and bleeping Jag. You turn. And Paige is like, okay. Let's chill. Let's try to chill, please. And he's like, I'm gonna be pissed off for a while. So, fair. I'd have been pissed. Listen. And then it doesn't even work because they're still here. So, you've tried to get them out. You didn't. You failed. But yeah. Double U-turn. So now, Izzy and Paige, Rubina and Christine have to go back and go do Fisherman's Hall. Drag that damn net, which I guess is the easier of the 2 tasks, but still, you don't want to waste time having to go back and do a whole other task. That's just gonna kill you. Luckily, it didn't, but there's worse tasks ahead. Now, they go to the route info, get the next clue for the roadblock. Who feels like everything is going downhill? This roadblock sucked. Not like, oh, this is stupid to watch. This just sucked for them. These poor bastards did. This one was brutal. And not balanced. So, they have to build, and I'm going to say this wrong, a Karichi cart. I'm just going to call it a cart. It's a little wooden cart. It looks like those scooters that you have in gym class where you're like, it's like the little flat one with the handles and you roll it. It's like similar vibes, but wood with like the handles in the front, kind of. I don't know. They gotta build it. Then no instructions. Just gotta look at the demo, put that shit together. Then race it downhill down this cobblestone ash street to cross the finish line in 36 seconds or less. And then you can get your clue and move on. This was criminal. This was criminal. And you kind of realize real quick. this is hard because nobody, like, the amount of time it takes some of these teams to put this card together is crazy. It takes a hot minute for some people. Like Hannah and Simone get there pretty quickly. They're there for clearly a very long time because this is the last task before the pit stop. This was just rough. And we also had some beef with some of the teams because Kylan and Taylor, when they're showing up, Jack and Jazz and Tucker and Eric are already there, and they have like kind of like a little step platform for the person who's not doing the roadblock to kind of stand there and watch the bottom of the hill at the finish line for the race. The whole gentleman's agreement drama. Oh. Why? Who cares? Like, literally, who cares that they think the guys are working together? You're not. You know you're not. So move on. Why? Who cares? Tucker and Eric is standing there, and here's Kylan say to the camera crew, because part of the being on a TV show, you have to narrate what's happening. Is narrating. Oh, there must have been some kind of like gentleman's agreement because of the double U-turn. All the guys, the guy teams U-turned the women teams, which, by the way, first time all 4 people on the double U-turn have been women. Love it. Wow, great. So fabulous. Wow. And of course, Eric being on the stairs can hear Kylan say that. He's narrating to the camera crew. And he's like, wow, I think we have a gentleman's agreement. They think we're working together, so they're coming after us. No. And he tells us to Jazz, who's saying the same thing, like, well, they're clearly, we can't work with Kylan and Taylor. You're not supposed to be working with anybody. This is the Amazing Race. Why? There's no working together. There's no alliances. You're racing. Oh, we can't work with them. No shit. That's not the point of the show. Why don't they get this? I love Big Brother, but these people are driving me nuts because why are we bringing alliances into a show that doesn't need alliances? We don't need to work together. We can't work with them. Y'all. It's a race for $1 million. You're not supposed to be working with them. You're not supposed to work with anybody. You need to move. Like, I can't. Especially because Jack and Jazz, they have this train wreck alliance. They're not even keeping with their alliance. They are getting information and help from them, but then they leave them in the dust. They're not like they're receiving, but they're not giving. Joseph and Adam, Natalie and Stephanie are lockstep this whole race. And Jack and Jazz keep leaving them in the goddamn dust at every opportunity they can. But they're still train wreck alliance, and I'm like, what alliance? You keep leaving them behind. They do this every leg. They get ahead of them, and they're like, bye. I'm like, you're not helping. This is not an alliance. You're just mooching off of them at this goddamn point. So that's not an alliance. Alliance is mutual. You help them. They help you. Not they help you and you go and finish in second place while they're straggling behind for an hour. Not how that works. Not an alliance. I'm sorry. It just aggravates me beyond belief. Because I'm like, this is not an alliance. You're just mooching. Because they leave them in the dust at this part of the leg. Because, they were all kind of together for the W turn. But once they get to the roadblock and Jack and Jazz completed, they're out. They're not like, should we wait for them? No, they take the fuck off. I don't know. This whole shit is so stupid. This teamwork alliance nonsense is crazy. Which is why them being like, oh, I guess we can't work with Kyle and Taylor. You're not supposed to be. That's not the point of the damn show. The point of the damn show is to race. Why do we not understand this? I'm sorry. I had to rant about that because it's been driving me nuts this whole damn show about oh, we can't work with this person. Oh, we can't work with them. We want to work, this is our alliance. This is not the alliance show. This is the race show. Why do we not, what are we not getting? What are we not getting about this? Does anybody? Am I just stupid and don't understand how the Amazing Race works? Race. Do your shit and go as fast as you can. we're not supposed to be kumbaya best friends all holding hands together. You're not all getting to the mat at the same time and finishing tied together. No, somebody's got to beat you there. I can't. But this roadblock, who's going downhill? Who feels like everything's going downhill? Excuse me. This is some shit. The cart building is hard enough as it is. The race downhill is brutal for specifically the women teams. Because, I don't know physics. I majored in food service management, and if it wasn't that, it would have been English. So I'm no science person. But even I know, when something's heavy, it's gonna go down with gravity a lot quicker than something that's really later. Excuse me. So, every man who races does it in about 1 to 2 tries. As you can tell by the top 4, all of those teams had men racing. Obviously, 3 of the teams were all men, so they had no choice, but Kylan runs this roadblock. And when he goes downhill, he keeps his backpack on because he knows the velocity will be better because he will be heavier and can get downhill faster. The other teams, not so much luck. Natalie's able to get through it a bit quicker, but she's also on her knees, dragging her hands on this cobblestone like this, trying to get downhill. And even I think it takes her a couple tries too. The bottom 4 teams, Chelsea and Jack, Izzy, Paige, Rubina and Christine, and Hannah and Simone, are there for a very, very long time. Like, I can't remember if Natalie's, if they were still there when Izzy and Paige and Rubina and Christine got there, because obviously they had to do their detour. But they were like, Hannah and Simone are still here. Hannah and Simone left a while ago. They were ahead of us. How are they still here? Like, they were still building when they got there. And then when Paige wasn't this, when Paige goes to race, and she's like, Chelsea, why are you still here? And Paige is like, oh no, this is gonna be really hard, isn't it? These poor women, I don't know how long they were there. They had to do that race at least like 30 times. And you have to walk back up the hill. They were exhausted. They're all dragging themselves downhill to try to get there in 36 seconds. Some of them are missing it by a good margin. Some of them are missing it literally by 2 seconds. They have to go all the way back and do it again. Another 2 seconds, they're off. Like, they're all, like, shot, like, emotionally, physically, mentally. They're all exhausted, worn out. They're so over it. There's, like, crying. They're crying. They're just, like, so mad, so tired. They're like, this is impossible to do. Like, at one point, when, Natalie and Stephanie are able to get through, it's just the bottom 4, and Paige is like, I realize right now that this is just, we're all racing to not be last. Like, it's an impossible task for them. And I feel like the people who designed this leg probably should have put that into consideration, that the men would have a bit of an easier time doing this than the women, because they don't weigh as much as the men. They're having a significantly harder time getting this done, especially for, like, Rubina and Christine. Like, Christine is a shorter, like, smaller stature person. She's not gonna be able to get downhill as fast as, like, Tucker, who's like, Tucker, who did it, who's like 6 something, weighs more, like, can they think of this through? And if it had been the other way around, if Jack had run this roadblock over Chelsea, they probably would have been 1 or 2 tries and would have been gone. It's like, it's so stupid that they can't put that into consideration for this. So these teams are just struggling, and this was, like, honestly stressing. I was so stressed. I'm hormonal. I'm sitting there. I'm, like, on the brink of, like, crashing out. I'm like, I could cry right now, watching these teams just go downhill again and again and again. And the poor partners are standing on that staircase, just, like, so defeated. They're literally just, like, hanging. They're like, I can't even look anymore. They're like, oh my god. Like, it's just rough. It's just a rough experience for everybody. Chelsea and Jack Chelsea's the first one to get it done of the 4, and she was fairly close a few times. At first she was kind of, really off with the steering, but then she's able to kind of get a little faster, and then she finally is able to get it done. So her and Jack are off. They finish in 6th. Izzy and Paige are the next team to get us done. Paige gets through the finish line. At this point, I start crying. Because I'm like, oh my god. Because I don't want any of them 3 to go. But obviously, not a secret here. I'm rooting for Izzy and Paige. All the way. So I'm like relieved. But then I'm so sad because I love Rubina and Christine. And I love the Chadas. And I'm like, this is so sick and twisted. So I'm crying. I'm like tearing up. I'm like, this sucks. And they're just running this. Christine and Simone are just doing it again and again and again. And it's like, Rubina can't even watch anymore. She's just on the ground. Not even looking. Hannah's the only one that's looking. But finally, Christine, like, just makes it. And Rubina and Christine are sobbing. They're hugging. Poor Simone can barely makes it through. Still hasn't gotten done. And this whole scene, oh my god, I was bawling. Oh my god, the Chada sisters, I love them so much. I'm so sad they're not in this anymore. I could cry right now thinking about it. That whole scene with them, of Simone crying and Hannah's like, "Why are you crying? Do you see the smile on my face?" She's like, "Don't cry. We can get through this. We're going to keep trying. We're going to keep going. I'm so proud of you." And I'm crying right now. I'm talking about it. Because it was so sweet. And it's so sad because they know they're done. But they keep going. And she keeps going. And then Simone finally gets it. And they're so happy. And they have this whole scene, this whole heartfelt thing about how they're sisters, but they didn't really grow up close because, Hannah went to a boarding school when she was younger, and then she graduated early, so she was in college and med school and all that. So they weren't really, they didn't spend much time together throughout the years. And so they were able to finally, bond together on this trip. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm tearing up. You can't tell. I'm tearing up right now, talking about this. It's so emotional and so sweet, but so sad because it's no, I wish you were still here. Oh, I love them so much. And I'm so sad that they're out. And they're we tried, we did our best. It's so sad. And I love them so much. But they're gone. And it sucks. This was such a rough, this roadblock was so rough to experience. I can't, for me, who's watching it on TV, I can't imagine how much, it was probably 85 times worse to actually have to run this. So, these poor teams. Oh my god. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm so sad that Hannah and Simone are out because I love Hannah ever since BB23. I loved her on there. I've been waiting for her to get back on TV. She's finally back. And then, Croatia! Fucking great. Don't ever let me see Croatia. It's on site. But they're gone, and I'm really sad and Simone's so lovely too. They're so sweet. Can we bring them back? Can we that didn't count? Bring them back. It just was they're still here. Oh man, this was a rough leg. This was I don't know. It was just the task, the road, the detours weren't terrible, but that double U-turn really wasn't great. And this roadblock was impossible. And just a rough leg to experience overall. Oh, I hate Dubrovnik. But these are our placements heading into the next leg. Tucker and Eric, who shocked, finished first. They get more money, another $5,000. Cool. Kylan and Taylor, Jack and Jazz are in the top. Still got their express passes. They have not used them yet. They're still good, apparently, as we find out episode 7, but that's another video. That they're good until 8. So, they still got them. Going into this next leg, still in Croatia, they have to go to, now I can't say this word, so I'm gonna try it. Tristeno or Arboretum. Sure. That's totally wrong. Let's leg 6. They have a self-drive there. I think it was like 25 minutes out of the city, so they're probably like still kind of in Dubrovnik, but like not. I don't know. I don't know Croatia. They have to go to the Tristano Arboretum. This is like such a, I can't say any of this. To go to the garden to get their next clue. The departure times for this are wild. The first team, Tucker and Eric, leave at 8:58 a.m. Christine and Rubina don't leave until 12:55, 4 hours later, and a full hour after the team in front of them, Izzy and Paige. What are we doing? What the hell? Like, that is ridiculous. That is so absurd. As you can tell by the pictures, spoiler fucking alert, Rubina and Christine get eliminated this leg because obviously you can't catch up if some people are 4 hours ahead of you and then the next team ahead of you is a solid hour ahead. So unless Izzy and Paige got extremely lost, fucked up something somewhere disastrously, there was no way in hell Rubina and Christine were going to catch up unless they had like an express pass. But no, because they don't have it, because the strong teams have them, because life would be too fair that way. Oh my god. Living the dream. So 4 hour gap on departure times here. Now, I'm just going to show you something. These are my notes. I should full screen this for a second, actually. 1 second. Let me switch. Yeah. My notes. Look at this. Okay. You can see. This is my episode 6 notes. All 1 page. You see how the pit stop is up here? And there's all this pit stop. All of this I had to do within, like, the first 15 minutes because Tucker and Eric literally are, like, done. Done with the entire leg in the first, like, 20 minutes of this episode. So I was like, oh, okay, I have to write everything really fast up here, and then this is everybody else. I feel like your leg shouldn't do that. What are we doing? Why is this? Why? Play on your leg a little better. Cause why? What the fuck is this? What the hell are we doing? Like, I knocked shit around. My bad. But like, literally, what? Pit stop. For comparison. Episode 5, pit stop. Pit stop's down here. You see? You see how it's down here at the end? This was the equalizer leg. This one, 4 hour gap. The fuck are we doing? Back to the screen. Excuse me. I just have to share that because I'm like, ridiculous. Now, Tristano Arboretum to get their next clue for their detour in the gardens. It's pouring, by the way. It is raining so much. The garden looks beautiful, by the way. Very beautiful, but pouring. What a leg. So Tucker and Eric get through there very quickly. So a lot of the information we're getting immediately from Tucker and Eric, because like I said, you know, they're miles ahead of everybody else. We do get a comment from Tucker, kind of interesting, about how, you know, Rubina, she's my girlfriend. She's still in this race, but that doesn't affect how we race. Okay. Interesting. I'd be a little concerned if my girlfriend was also racing. I'd be like, I hope she's doing okay. But he's like, whatever. Okay. Cool. They get to the Arboretum. They get the clue out of the little jar there by the fountain. Detour. Bag it up or pull it up. Bag it up. They gotta take this one. Take a wheelbarrow. You get to this big old salt place because Croatia got salt lakes that dry up, collect a bunch of salt, right? mountains of salt. You gotta fill a wheelbarrow with salt. 10 bags of salt you gotta fill. Between 20 to 21 pounds. Seal it up. All 10 bags. Wheel them to the salt shed. Or whatever. Deliver them. Have them weighed. They're all good. You can get your clue. Pull it up. Rowboat. Rowboat your way out. Through the water. There's a bunch of buoys. With oysters. You gotta pull up 3 buoys with oysters. Row back. Deliver them to a restaurant. Now listen. Most of these teams do bag it up. I'm doing pull it up. I'm sorry. It seemed a lot easier than, like, having to fill all these bags of salt and run them through, like, especially because it's pouring. They're, like, running through, like, a pond, practically, of water on this trail with dirt, mud, grass. I'm just pulling it up. Fuck. I'll pull up the oysters. Who does? Let me see. So, bag it up. It's Tucker and Eric, Jack and Jazz, Joseph and Adam. Who's shocked? Izzy and Paige, Chelsea and Jack. Pull it up. Kyle and Taylor, Natalie and Stephanie, Rubina and Christine. That one I think seems a lot easier. I mean, obviously if you can't row, there was a little bit of struggling with the rowing, especially more so with like Kyle and Taylor, because Kyle was trying to do it all by himself. But Natalie and Stephanie, Rubina and Christine kind of just like take one paddle each and just like row it. And I'm like, honestly, that's the way to do it, honestly. Because Kyle and Taylor were going a lot slower. And I'm like, that's probably the proper technique of rowing. But you're in a race. Fuck proper technique. Just get your ass up and just fucking paddle that shit. And you don't have to do anything. You just gotta literally pull up 3 buoys, put them in your boat with the line of oysters, and just put them in a crate and run them to the restaurant. That's so much easier than all this bag and shit. You get to figure out the bag sealer, which, once again, Tucker and Eric, Mr. Worldwide, they could do everything. Tucker's like, oh yeah, my food time job, I use this sealer machine all the time. You just gotta do this, click it in, and I'm like, what the fuck? They do everything, apparently. They know everything, they do everything. Crazy. A lot of teams, I don't know, these weren't crazy hard tasks. I feel like the salt one, which is back it up, was a little bit harder, in my opinion. That's what I definitely would have did. Pull it up. I'm like, that seems a lot easier. I've never rowed a boat, but I could just stand up and churn an oar with my sister or something and be like, come on, bitch, go. Versus trying to maneuver a wheelbarrow full of bags of salt. Like, Izzy and Paige, the whole wheelbarrow falls over. They have to reload everything. And then they're burning, like, the sealer shit is hard. They're, like, burning through, like, the sealer, and it's, like, ripping the top. And you have to make sure all the bags are weighed. You have to make sure, especially because it's a particular task as well. Same with, like, the previous leg with the monkfish. It's very particular. You have to get it right a specific way. Same with the bags. The other task, you just gotta do it. You just gotta bring something somewhere. I feel like if you have to just take something, bring it somewhere, just do that. Just do it. Just deliver. It's a lot faster. Fuck it. Why not? Just do it. So. These weren't that crazy hard. I mean, it was a bit of a race for certain teams, especially Chelsea, Jack, Izzy, and Paige were on each other's ass this whole time. They were like neck and neck and neck. They're like, this whole leg, honestly. Like, even to the Arboretum, Chelsea and Jack are like right behind Izzy and Paige. And Izzy and Paige are like, we're not fucking helping them. They even like get the clue and then they like scurry as Jack and Chelsea run up and make Jack really think that they're still looking for it, and they run past the clue box. And then they realize, oh, they already have it. Where the fuck is it? And they can't find it. Chelsea's like, is it? Chelsea's looking in the water. Jack is like holding it. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, look down. You know it's supposed to have like a yellow and red tag. Look down. You're touching the tag. Oh, Jesus. It's like such a trip. I don't know. I'd have been rowing that boat. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like definitely, yeah, Izzy and Paige, Chelsea and Jack, neck and neck this whole leg. Especially with the bag it up. Because Chelsea and Jack get, they're a little quicker with it because Izzy and Paige are struggling with the sealer. but Chelsea and Jack have to go back and get more bags because some of theirs are fucked up. Izzy and Paige do not have to go back. They get it in the first shot, but it takes them much longer. And then Izzy, the whole wheelbarrow tips over. Izzy, like, kicks the shit out of that wheelbarrow and piss. And I'm like, me. Oh, I love Izzy. I love Izzy. Oh my god, she's so fun. And then they were talking about, like, their beef with Jag and Jazz. She's like, we can just hate on them publicly. We can hate even more. She's like, now we can get revenge. Now we have no excuse. No, we're like, oh, we don't want to poke the bear. Like, they did it already. So we could just keep the beef going. And I'm like, love it. I love TV beef. Go for it. I also would have probably kicked that wheelbarrow because I also get very frustrated. I'm like, god damn it. Fuck this wheelbarrow. Oh my god. But yeah, they're pretty neck and neck this whole, like, Chelsea and Jack and Izzy and Paige. But we move. Route info, they have to go to Park Komada to get their next clue for the roadblock. Who knows their way around Croatia? There's a relief map, which looks like a little 3D, I don't know what a relief map. It's like kind of like a 3D display of the little area. There's little shields in there, and they have to run around to find the actual shields, and they have fun facts about Croatia on them. About 3 each shield. There's 3 shields, 3 different fun facts. So 9 facts total. They have to memorize them all while they're running around. Go back to the park, to the person there. I don't know if they gave her a name. She's just a person there. And she will ask them 3 questions that they have to answer based off the fun facts they learned. However, if they fuck up and go back, they have to go back, run around more, the questions will change. So it's not the same question. So you have to memorize all 9 facts because you don't know what they're going to ask you. Some of them miss this. Some of them miss this information. Especially Miss Taylor Hale, who does not read that fact. Misses it completely. So she goes around, I believe I can't remember if she asks the questions first, if she runs first, asks the questions, then goes back and runs, and then the questions change. But whatever it does, she gets the questions, goes back, ignores the other facts, just remembers the ones that go to that question, goes to the lady again, and the lady asks her different questions, and she literally starts screaming. She's like, ah! And I'm like, me too, Taylor, me too. And Kyle's like, it's okay. It's okay, we got this. And Taylor's just screaming, and I'm like, me. I'll be like, damn, but Taylor, we gotta read the clues. We have to read the clue. A couple people missed that fact, but that's okay. As long as you realized, and just gotta go back and run around and get the other fun facts memorized. Now, another issue with this roadblock that a lot of people are figuring out or experience is that you have to be exact with your wording. A few people are failed on the questions because they miss a word. Like, it was like, I forget the questions, but it was like, when the answer was like 22,000 whatever something feet. A few of them have to go back because they forget to say the word feet. They just say 22,000 whatever, and the person's like, no. So that also takes up some time for some teams as well, because you were right, you just miss one word, which sucks. Now, my notes are all over the place because of fucking Tucker and Eric, who are so ahead that all of my stops are up here and all of my notes for the other teams are down here. So I'm like having to go back and like trying to look and see like what goes with what. So my apologies if I'm a little scatterbrained with this leg. Like literally, Tucker and Eric get to the pit stop, I think just after Izzy, Paige, and Ruby and Christine in the episode start. Which is something. Wow. So everything is all over the place. And now, also this episode, Trademark Alliance. At it again. Same shit I said last leg. Jack and Jazz, leaving them in the dust. Natalie and Stephanie, Joseph and Adam, still sticking together. To their detriment a little bit. Because Stephanie was not happy this leg, especially with Natalie. They are waiting for them when they don't need to be. Stephanie is like, why are we waiting for Joseph and Adam to go to the pit stop with us? Why can't we just go? She's like, this is a race. We can't just wait for them all of the time, or we're going to get a lower spot and we're going to be screwed. That's what I'm saying. And then they're waiting. They're like circling around the parking lot waiting for Joseph and Adam, who are getting directions from somebody else. And then they, like, because they're parked separately, they're trying to wait for them. They can't find them. They just eventually leave without them. They do both make it to the pit stop fairly back to back. I believe Natalie and Stephanie are already on the mat when Joseph and Adam pull up on their car. But, like, you can't wait for it. That's why the alliances don't work with this, because you're racing against each other. You can't be like, I'm gonna wait for my three alliance members, because if people pass you while you're waiting for them, and then your alliance people can outrun you in a foot race to the mat, you're out. That's not good. Because what if they were behind? What if they were at the bottom? What if they had been bad in the last leg and then they were racing from the back of the pack? You're gonna wait for Joseph and Adam, and then what? Get eliminated because you waited and they outran you to the mat? That's why you don't do alliances. And clearly, Jack and Jazz are leaving their asses in the dust and not waiting for them. So why are you waiting for your alliance? Just go. Just go. And I'm glad Stephanie is finding, like, why are we waiting for them? Just go. Just run. We're in a race. I'm like, it's great that you're making friends and you have an alliance. That's fun. But in a race for $1 million, you can't wait for them. Just fucking go. Because somebody's got to be behind you. The more people you have behind you, the better. That's all. That's what I gotta say about that. Literally, like, what are you gonna do? What if they couldn't find them? Were they gonna keep waiting for them? What if they never left? What if Joseph and Adam got to the pit stop without them, and then they were like, oh, we don't know where Natalie and Stephanie are, and they're still circling the parking lot area in Croatia calling for them? You gonna lose because of that? No. Go. Just go. Simple as that. Good grief. I don't know. This alliance shit is, like, driving me up the wall. Because it's, like, literally benefiting not many people. It's just, I don't know. It's not doing them any good. It really isn't. I just say, I get the alliance thing earlier in the race. Like, for the first couple legs, when there's more teams, sure. We're halfway through the race now. It's time to give it up. You can't have an alliance of 3 teams when there's 7 teams left, because if you can't wait, you can't, just go. This is an independent game now. Run. You gotta give it up. Keep going. On your own. Because you can't wait for them forever. I just can't. It's just, it drives me nuts. Man, this leg was a little more straightforward. The tasks weren't super hard. The facts were really easy. Nothing was really crazy to remember. Once again, Turk and Eric get in first. They get a trip to Cairo, Egypt. Cool. They're, like, just getting everything. Good for them. Cool. Yeah. I don't know. It's not much of a switch up this episode compared to the last leg. Let me see. Like, yeah, literally, what? There's only a shuffle from, like, the top couple people, because they were all closer together. So, literally, yeah, Jack and Jazz, Kyle and Taylor switch, and then Natalie and Stephanie, Joseph and Adam switch. The rest all stay in the same spot, because nobody can catch up. Shocker. Unfortunately, ultimately, Rubina and Christine are out. I mean, they started an hour behind the last team. I don't even know if they saw anybody the entire leg. I believe they got to the roadblock as Izzy and Paige and Chelsea and Jack were leaving. So, like, they still had to do the whole roadblock. So they might have caught up a little bit, especially because, you know, Chelsea and Jack, Lord help them, they're not great with directions sometimes, especially at the beginning. They were struggling to get lost. They always get lost. I'm amazed that they did not get lost going to the pit stop, but Izzy and Paige did, because they went the wrong direction. Which is how Chelsea and Jack were able to just pass Izzy and Paige, despite Izzy and Paige having the kind of the lead on them the whole time. But yeah, ultimately, Rubina and Christine are out. I just don't have much to say about this leg. I don't know. It's hard when there's not much of a shakeup and it's just like big gaps between all the teams because it's like it's not as much of a race. Like the most interesting I think part of this whole leg was the Chelsea and Jack, Izzy and Paige like fight at the bottom because they were neck and neck the whole time. And then you're like, oh shit. But even then, you're like, yeah, but they're not really like you know Rubina and Christina are like an hour behind them. So I wasn't like, oh my god, or Izzy and Paige gonna go home? Like, no, because Rubina and Christina are leagues behind them. So I'm not worried about them going home. They have somebody who will go home that is not gonna catch up. I don't know. I just the way they're doing these legs is so strange. They're just like there's so many like missed opportunities to let the teams be more equal. And they're just not really doing like I don't know. It's not interesting to watch the same teams win over and over again. It's really given Big Brother like having to watch Tucker win everything, Jack and Jazz like almost pretty much win everything as well. Like I already had to watch Big Brother 25 and Big Brother 26. I don't need to relive it. I mean, I love Big Brother 26, don't get me wrong. 25 I was sick to my stomach. I could close my eyes and I still see the Jag winning the veto graphic burned into my eyeballs. How many times that man had to win. Like, I don't like I could say this a million times. I don't like a steamroll. I like shakeups. I like the underdogs rising to the top. Watching people win, leg after leg after leg, with no adverse. Oh my god, it's not adversary. It's like I want a team to win who had to struggle a bit. Somebody like, oh my god, we could have gone home that leg, but we didn't, and then we made it. We were able to push through and rise up in the teams and make it to the end. I don't want someone who's like, oh, I had a clean sail. I won 7 legs in a row, and I got the million. I'm like, cool. That's not interesting. That's just like a boring show to watch. That's why I'm rooting so hard for Izzy and Paige. Beyond the fact that I just love Izzy and Paige. I think they're great. It's like, we've seen them. They were kind of in the middle, like at the beginning, and now they were kind of on the rise to the top, and now they're back and down again, but they're making it through. They're just making it through every leg. They're getting there. And I'm like, come on, keep going. We could get up there. Come on. It's like you want to root for the people who are like on the bottom and trying to fight their way up. I don't care that somebody's won the past 7 legs. Who gives a shit? That's not interesting. Cool, you could do it all. That's great for them. Not so interesting to me. Maybe this is just me. Maybe this is just my opinions on things. I could be total. Maybe you love seeing the same team win again and again and again. That unfortunately is not me. That will never be me. Unless, though, listen, I'll be real. If it was Izzy and Paige winning every week, would I be like, yeah, it's a little boring, but I'm okay with it because I love Izzy and Paige? Yeah, and that's just my personal bias. Fair enough. Sorry. I will admit to that. If it was a team I loved and adored and I really wanted to win, fine. Because looking at this board, looking at the teams we have left, we have Tucker and Eric, Jack and Jazz, Kylan and Taylor, Natalie and Stephanie, Joseph and Adam, Chelsea and Jack, and Izzy and Paige. The teams I would want to win the most, obviously Izzy and Paige. Probably behind them after that would be Joseph and Adam, just because I love Joseph and Adam. They're fabulous. Love the Evans. After that, I don't know, because I don't want the same person to win. I don't like a steamroll, but I also, this is definitely probably just a me thing. When people who already won a show or another show, I'm like, you already won. What do you need? You got... So, unfortunately, that means Jack and Jazz, Chelsea and Jack, and I'm so sorry, Taylor Hill. I love you so much. I do. Please don't twist this. Don't take this personally. But I'm like, she already won Big Brother. I guess Kylan didn't win, so that's, like, fine. But I'm like, she already won. Does she need to win again? I just want somebody who didn't win to win. You know what I mean? Like, you already won one. I can't speak. They already won before, you know. They already got their $750,000. Let somebody else get that million, you know. I don't mean Tucker and Eric, because no offense, if I had to sit through this entire show to just watch them win first place every single leg for 10 episodes, I'm gonna be a little agitated. I will literally feel like that clip of Zach Rance when he's crashing out about Frankie, where he's like, about America's favorite player, he's like, we're wasting our fucking time, just give him the money, why are we here? That's how I feel. I'm like, if this is just gonna, I don't want things to be predictable. That's, I guess, the big thing, predictability. If this show is, like, nothing is interesting if it's predictable to me, in my opinion. So it's like the predictable outcome is just like Jag and Jazz or Tucker and Eric just beast their way to the end and win. One of those teams wins the $1 million. And I'm like, I guess. Like, this isn't, and also this isn't personal, because I don't dislike Tucker and Eric or Jag and Jazz. They're not my favorite people. I think my problem with them is outside of the TV, when they're like on, like, I'm fine with them. I don't mind. In fact, from before this, my opinion on Jag was a lot higher, because on Big Brother 25, I was like, I'm so sick of him. But afterwards, like, just seeing him all, I'm like, oh, okay, actually, he's not so bad. But once they're back on my screen in a competitive setting, both Tucker and Eric and Jag and Jazz, well, I guess it more applies to just Tucker and Jag, because obviously Eric and Jazz weren't on TV. But you know what I mean. They're back on my TV, and they're doing the same thing they did on their seasons, just dominating the competition. Nobody has any chance to catch up, because they're both too strong of competitors. I'm immediately like, oh my god, I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? It's like this. None of this is personal. This is all through this, like, competitive reality TV show lens of, like, they're too good, and I'm tired of seeing them win. Because it's just so predictable. I just want a shake up. I want interesting TV. Watching the same teams win again and again is not interesting. So I hope this is like me. I've been rambling. I'm so sorry. This is like, doesn't make really any sense, and I'm all over the place. But I'm like, I don't know. Shake things up. I would love to see them struggle. In not in like a Budapest racism they had experienced way. Like, I want to be a struggle with a roadblock. Like, oh, we can't do this detour. This shit is hard, and we're really having a hard time with it. And then they have to kind of actually fight for their lives versus, like, we're good at this and we can fly through it. You know? Because that's not interesting. I just want them to struggle in a actual game sense. Because I think that'd be more interesting. I don't know. I just like when people... I don't want to say I like when people struggle. That's not what I mean. I'm just... I guess TLDR for that whole rambling nonsense. I like the underdog story more than the steamroll story. That's just me. So I'm always rooting for the underdogs here. So, that's kind of all I have to say. A lot of it was me rambling, so I'm sorry. I just be yapping sometimes, you know. Sometimes my brain is a train wreck. Maybe the train wreck alliance was the friends we made along the way. Was the ramblings we did the whole time. So, yeah, that's kind of all I have got. The Amazing Race, episodes 5 and 6 are 2 Croatia legs. So we got episode 7 coming soon. Romania. We're going. What's gonna happen next time? I don't know. I already know because I'm so behind schedule. We know what happens. But let's pretend to be surprised. What's gonna happen? Who knows? We'll find out next time. We also got, coming up, our finale episodes of Guts and Glory, episodes 5 and 6. We're wrapping it up. Show's over. As well as Survivor 49. It's still going. Episode 7 as well. And we're finally at the merge. No more tribes. Well, I guess tribe, singular. No more tribes, plural. We got one tribe now. Merge. So, lots to look forward to coming out. So look forward to the Guts and Glories video coming out, as well as episode 7 for both The Amazing Race and Survivor. Plus, obviously, no more Guts and Glory anymore. So just keep looking forward to the next coming weeks. We got more of The Amazing Race, more Survivor. We're having a ball here. We're having fun. Even if we're off schedule, we're just gonna go for it. Fuck it. I know I got a schedule and my brain can't stick to it. We're just gonna vibe. If we get back on track, cool. If we don't, that's okay. No stress, just fun. We're gonna have fun, and we're gonna hopefully not get too behind, and we can keep up. So, let me know your thoughts on these episodes below. What do you think about the W turn? Do you think it was a good decision to U-turn Izzy and Paige, Ruben and Christine, or would you have done something different? Who would you have W turned? I know who I would have, and I made that very clear. I would have. The men. What do you think about these detours, the pit stops, the roadblock? Not the pit stop, the roadblocks. Obviously, the pit stop, they just get there. What do you think? Looking forward to in Romania? How do you think they're gonna do? Who's out next? Who do you think can make it all the way? Will Taylor and Kyland or Jack and Jazz ever use those damn express passes that are rotting in their pockets? Which detour would you have picked if you had the chance? I already made my opinions clear. What are your thoughts? Leave a like, and if you want, you can subscribe as well. We've got more coverage coming soon for, as I already said, Survivor and The Amazing Race. And then, coming up definitely more in the future, because we still got a couple months, we have The Traitors 4, which today, the release date was finally announced, January 8th, same day as another show we're going to be covering. The Pit, baby. The Pit Season 2! Yeah! A show I love dearly. I believe that'll be our first scripted show as well. And then also, coming up next couple months, I guess more towards January, end of January, we've got Bridgerton, another scripted show we'll be covering, because I also love Bridgerton. And then definitely more later, like February, I'm guessing end of February, Survivor 50, she's coming. Oh boy. So we got a lot to look forward to in the future. So strap in, folks. We're going to get through this rest of this fall, winter, and then we're on track for another crazy few shows to look forward to. So that's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching and for dealing with my crazy ass who can't keep on schedule. I really, really appreciate it for all of you tuning in and sticking through it. Means a lot. So that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.